So the other night, I was watching the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. He was interviewing Kurt Metzger. During the course of the podcast, which is always entertaining if you haven't checked it out, they started talking about the gifted children programs that were in public schools in the 1980s. I was in one as an elementary school student called PACE for 3 years until the local government cut them from curriculums. Anyway, it really got me thinking about how weird they were. I mean, we were tested and did these strange projects on things like ESP, abstract thinking, and physics. As a grade school kid, it was great to get out of regular classes and feel seen, but it was definitely odd being looked at by my friends and peers like some sort of outcast. It was like special ed for smart kids. Picture it. You're sitting at a laminated desk with rounded corners, watching the clock, when they call your name. No explanation. Just a hallway echo and a clipboard. They walk you to a quiet room with flickering lights and ask you questions no kid should know how to answer. After that, everything's different. You're no longer just a kid in a classroom. You're a gifted child. A phrase that sounds like a compliment, but comes with a quiet, strange weight that you can't quite name yet. Welcome to GATE, or PACE, or whatever acronym they assigned to the kids who finished the worksheet early and had too many questions. But before we really dig into this, please like, subscribe, don't be a poser. We didn't ask to be labeled. We were just curious, restless, fast readers, big thinkers in small bodies. Some of us were quiet about it, others were loud. But either way, someone noticed and they pulled us aside. The promise was, you're special, you'll be challenged, and you'll be seen. Sometimes we were. We did a book club on 1984 before we had hit double-digit birthdays. Built model cities with fake governments. Had debates about time travel and justice while other kids were still learning cursive. It was exhilarating and confusing. It was just a lot. Let's not lie to ourselves. Some of it was beautiful. For once, we weren't asked to shrink. We weren't punished for knowing things. We were allowed to explore ideas that went beyond the textbook, beyond the state test, beyond what most adults thought kids could handle. We got to collaborate, create, and question. We were the weirdos in a portable classroom out back, but we weren't alone. There was a real connection in those rooms, a shared language, a sense that maybe being different wasn't a flaw, it was an engine. And when it worked, it gave us a window into possibility. But here's the part we didn't talk about at the time. The weight of the word gifted. It's not just praise, it's prophecy. And kids, no matter how bright, hear the word prophecy as obligation. So we chased excellence. Not always because we wanted to, but because we were afraid of being a disappointment. We built identities around being clever, pressing adults. We performed intellect like magic tricks. But no one taught us how to shut it off, or how to fail, or how to ask for help without feeling like we were breaking something sacred. We weren't trained to be balanced. We were trained to become exceptional. Then the 90s rolled in with budget cuts and shifting priorities. Standardized testing was king now, and enrichment didn't scan well on a bubble sheet. Slowly, the classes disappeared. Some programs turned into afterthoughts, others into paperwork. And gifted students? We were reabsorbed into the mainstream with little ceremony and even less understanding. We didn't rebel, but we definitely noticed, because no one ever told us what to do after they stopped calling us gifted. It was just over, and life moved on. But that part of us, the spark, the weight, the contradiction never left. We weren't geniuses. We were just wired to notice things. The contradictions, the unfairness, the way some teachers lit up when you spoke and others quietly resented you. We internalized a lot. The praise, the pressure, the perfectionism. And now we're grown-ups, allegedly. A little frayed around the edges. Some have impressive titles. Some walked away from all of it. But I think all of us still wonder if we lived up to our potential, whatever that was supposed to mean. But most of us are just trying to make peace with it. Trying to be whole people, not just smart kids. Here's the quiet truth. Gate and PACE weren't scams. They were attempts. They were half-finished bridges. Some built with care, others with duct tape and good intentions. They gave some people lifelines. They gave others impossible standards. But we learned how to think. We learned how to question. And we learned how to see the system for what it was. Not villainous, not a savior. Just a reflection of a culture that didn't know what to do with sensitive, overthinking kids. And now, years later, we get to write our own definitions. Gifted, curious, flawed, awake, broken. It was never really about being the best. It's about becoming real. And we're still working on that. One neurotic, gifted thought at a time. Thank you. This has been Slack Signal X.